This is 6 Minutes, the Seriously International Daily Newscast. It's Friday, June 13th. I'm Emma Albright. The night has fallen on a chilly Auckland, while Brazil's Porto Alegre is waking up to clear skies. Here, in the Worldcrunch newsroom in a hot and sunny Paris, it's just after midday. These are the latest headlines. The world braces as Israel and Iran exchange major military strikes. Investigators find one of 2 black boxes from Thursday's Air India crash. And our daily quiz question is about an aquatic salamander superpower. Our top story today is Israel's major attack against Iran's nuclear sites early Friday. The strikes also killed Revolutionary Guard Chief Hossein Salami and Major General Mohammad Bahri, Iran's highest-ranking military officer, as well as 6 nuclear scientists. Tehran has responded with the launch of about 100 drones, all of which Israel says have been intercepted. The strike sparked a surge of oil prices amid worries about all-out war and disrupted supplies. Our More Than a Minute feature today looks at the timing of Israel's Operation Rising Lion amid Iran's negotiations with the U.S. on a new nuclear agreement. For French political analyst Pierre, it seems that Israel has chosen to live with war across the region for years to come. His France Inter piece was translated by Worldcrunch, and the English audio was produced with automated voice technology. Pierre, tell us more about Israel's risky operation.
The surprise did not come from the bombings themselves. Israel has been planning such an operation for years, but from the timing. U.S. Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff, a close associate of Donald Trump, was scheduled to meet this Sunday in the Sultanate of Oman with Iran's foreign minister, Abbas Araghchi. It was seen as a last-chance meeting to reach a new nuclear agreement. The reports over the past 24 hours of a possible Israeli attack seem designed to apply maximum pressure on Tehran ahead of this critical encounter. Questions have immediately risen about the role of the United States. Marco Rubio, the U.S. Secretary of State, quickly declared that Washington was not involved in the Israeli attack, calling it unilateral. But this statement appears primarily aimed at shielding American installations in the region from potential Iranian retaliation. It seems highly unlikely that Israel would have launched such a risky operation targeting Iran's military and nuclear facilities without at least a tacit green light from Washington.
What pushed Israel to launch the operation?
To understand this, we need to look back. During the 2 brief confrontations between Iran and Israel last year, the Biden administration had forbidden Israel from striking Iran's nuclear and oil facilities. Israel depends on U.S. intelligence and cover for operations of this scale. With Trump's return to power, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has revived his plan to dismantle Iran's nuclear program. Yet the U.S. president initially opted to open negotiations with Tehran, much to Israel's dismay. Those negotiations reached a deadlock over the key point of disagreement, the U.S. demand that Iran halt its uranium enrichment. Tehran has already refused. On Thursday, the International Atomic Energy Agency, IEA, the UN's nuclear watchdog, had condemned Iran for the first time in 20 years for non-compliance with its nuclear obligations. In plain terms, Iran is enriching uranium to levels sufficient to produce a nuclear weapon. Israel, for its part, claims to have provided the U.S. with evidence that Iran is on the verge of reaching the nuclear threshold, something Trump is determined to prevent during his term, especially after having torn up the 2018 nuclear deal without offering a viable alternative.
And now, what do you think will happen, Pierre?
This time, the Israeli strikes were significant, targeting both individuals, such as the head of the Revolutionary Guards, General Hossein Salami, who was killed last night, and nuclear scientists, as well as known uranium enrichment sites like Natanz, located 250 kilometers from Tehran. Iran has already launched more than 100 drones at Israel on Friday morning and vowed to strike U.S. targets in the region in the event of any attack on its nuclear program. Everything will depend on what it targets. If it attacks U.S. bases in Iraq and the Gulf, or Saudi and Emirati oil installations, the situation could quickly spiral into a broader escalation. The alternative would be a symbolic retaliation aimed at limiting damage and preserving the Iranian regime. In that case, Israel would claim a strategic victory. buying time and delaying the nuclear threat. While Gaza remains under Israeli fire, the opening of a new front with Iran underscores how war continues to be the default mode in the Middle East. Israel enjoys military superiority and is asserting it, but at the risk of trapping itself in a cycle of perpetual war.
In other news, investigators in India have reportedly found one of the two black boxes that will provide more details about the cause of the Air India plane crash in Ahmedabad in western India on Thursday. All but one of the 242 people on board the London-bound Boeing 7878 Dreamliner died when it crashed into a residential area after takeoff. The sole survivor, a British national, is recovering in hospital. We're closing things out today with our daily quiz question. Scientists say they have found a clue to solve one of biology's biggest mysteries in axolotls. What can these aquatic salamanders do? A. They live for hundreds of years. B. They are the most flexible creatures. C. They can regrow limbs. Or D. They continuously smile. The correct answer is C. Axolotls are known for their unusual ability to regrow limbs lost to injury or amputation. Researchers have now discovered more about the complex process behind the superpower. In particular, a substance called retinoic acid, which is responsible for signaling which body parts an axolotl's injured cells should regenerate. That's the latest from around the world. For more of the best of the international press, delivered exclusively in English, visit us at worldcrunch.com. We'll see you here on Monday. Bon weekend!